Okay. That's why I was like, hey man, come to this movie called The Justice League that you didn't want to come to.
Oh yeah, so all right, well let's go ahead and do like a proper intro. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. What do you mean by proper intro? Am I supposed to shake the mic like
No,
I'm
not
shaking
at
a
all.
hand?
Not at all, not at all.
Hello,
All
Mr.
right.
Microphone.
You keep cutting off the intro, man. Let me. Hey, you chill. You hold your goddamn horse.
I segued into the intro.
You
I segued. I began to segue.
hold your goddamn horses.
Listen, man, I will let those horses go wherever they want to.
Fuck holding them.
Yes.
All right, welcome to We Ain't No Stupids. This is extra YouTube exclusive again. I gotta make that playlist right too. It is me, the Zen Master, and to my left I got
I'm Jonan the Barbarian.
Jonan the Barbarian. I dig it. I like that. I'm about to make that your name in my phone now.
Thank you.
Jonan the Barbarian.
Courtesy of supervisor at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's Jonan the Barbarian and Jonan the Destroyer. Or if you use the Wu-Tang name generator, I'm Respected Swami. I dig that one too. Like a Zen leader, I guess, to dumb it down, like, you know, somebody you look up to. Maybe the wise man. I was, and it wasn't like I typed in Joe Nanry. It was like I typed in, like, I don't know if I used my middle name, but I typed my name all the way out. Because the other one was Pesky Watcher.
You spell your shit out like an angry mother. Joseph Nanry.
and I got Respected Swami.
All right, so we're going to do this review of The Justice League. The, fifth movie in the DCEU. I've seen all but Wonder Woman, which is the one...
Well, wait a minute. So how many are there? 5?
Including this one, 5.
So what's there's Superman.
Man of Steel.
Uh-huh.
Then Batman vs. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Then Suicide Squad. Then Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, because Ben Affleck is in Suicide Squad.
So what'd you think of the movie? Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'd give it a thumbs up, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I 100% enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to take into consideration how much I was expecting to not like it. So maybe I'm great on a way different curve than everybody else. Like, I walked into this shit really expecting to hate this movie. So it's like I was impressed from the beginning all the way to the end. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Like, if there's so much shit in it that I like, that I'm like, whatever I didn't like about it got drowned out by what I did like.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the shit I didn't like wasn't really worth mentioning. We're going to mention the shit though.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, by the way, spoilers. Even though I'm gonna put it in the title, so if you ain't watched the shit yet.
Oh, so we gonna go all in.
Oh, we're going all in because I
Right,
don't see the point in. No.
Talking about review.
Yeah, that's why I want to get this shit out the way first. Is that I want to say, yeah, go see the movie. I think it's worth it. Damn sure think it's worth seeing. I mean, like, as good as I think it is, I do feel like it can wait for DVD. Like, I wasn't really blown away by anything that I saw. It made me feel like, yeah, go see it in theaters. But I mean, like, watch it. It's good. I give it a thumbs up. He gives a thumbs up.
But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you really should have seen Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just that I really felt like DC's not getting any more of my money. And I still feel that way because, you bought this ticket.
I guess I need to buy you Wonder Woman for fucking Christmas.
All right, so, I think it'd be quicker if we go, what are the things you didn't like about this Justice League movie? Let's start with that first.
Batman.
Oh, you didn't like Batman?
I didn't like Batman one bit. I mean, I liked the things that happened to him, and I liked the way they treated him. Like, basically, he was the ass. Every time they got together, I feel like he was the ass of the group. He was the Jose Torres from Domino's. He was like the Jose of the fucking group.
I forgot that motherfucker's name.
I can't forget that motherfucker's name. And it's like, it's funny too because he had like, were you there at the meeting where we're all like about to watch some movie or some presentation, and they were like, Jose, get the lights. Jose, do this. Basically, they made Jose their little bitch, and they treated him like a bitch.
Well, that's that was just him.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not what happened in the movie. But I feel like that's the direction that they wanted, they wanted to give off, because he was kind of the butt of every joke. Hey, what's your superpowers? Oh, I'm rich. Like the bravest thing that he did in the entire movie, or the most like thoughtful thing that he did, besides telling everybody else what to do, was, hey man, I bought the bank, so your house is saved.
Oh, he did more than that.
Fuck that.
He did some brave shit. He jumped off a fucking house. Not house. He jumped off a building to attack the fear eater, whatever the fuck those things were.
After he fucking lured, like he got that dude and used him as bait.
Okay, one thing that was weird to me. I'm like,
how the fuck would, like, why were you watching him knowing this thing's around there? And how did you know he was gonna be there? And how did you know that, like, oh, you know what? They answer that at the end, because they are attracted to fear. So he scared the shit out of the one dude, so the other thing will come at him.
Yeah, but my thing about that was that it seemed like after Batman fought the dude, it seemed like that him and the guy were on the same page. Like, the dude was talking to him like he knew him. I'm like, who? So I'm thinking like,
yeah, like I'm thinking like, is this low key like Nightwing for real?
Yeah,
is this
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
Is this like Robin or something? What's going on?
So I didn't. That bugged me out because it's so small that I can let it go. But I really felt like that was supposed to be something. And then with the switch of the directors, for those of y'all that don't know, Zack Snyder is credited for directing this. But what happened was his daughter died during the production. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he dropped out of the project because for obvious reasons. And they put Joss Whedon, who did the first two Avenger movies, and they had him direct the rest of it. So I'm thinking that maybe like when he had his hands on the wheel.
Is he not gonna do the other Avenger movies?
Oh, he's done with Marvel.
Damn,
Yeah.
why?
Just done. I mean, I think like I said, he did Avengers 1, which was good. Avengers 2, okay, iffy. And then the dudes they did Captain America, basically been given, because they did a Captain America Part 2 and Civil War.
Oh yeah, Civil War is technically Avengers 3.
Technically, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so they're going to be doing the rest of the Avengers.
Yeah,
movies.
I like that movie a lot.
So yeah, so that's one thing that I didn't like was that is like we had this thing where he had this really cool, because I mean like if I'm a dude just breaking into houses and then I get attacked by Batman, and while I'm being attacked by Batman, I get attacked by a fucking flying moth monster thing. Last thing I'm doing is talking to Batman like, hey Batman, what was that? Is it because Superman's dead? Like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, huh, sweet, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Fuck up out of here, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't keep what I was about to steal though, but
yeah.
You know.
So that felt like it was something that was supposed to go one way and it ended up like not being used.
First, for everybody who doesn't know, those flying moth thingies, it's not Firefly. We thought it was Firefly.
Thought it was Firefly. Yeah.
And then at first I thought it was Man-Bat, because I'm like, all right, cool. He doesn't look like a bat, but he doesn't look human. Maybe it's Man-Bat. Nope, not at all.
It's some fear eater thing. Did they ever give him a name? What those little things were?
I forgot what the fuck they were.
Yeah.
It's so unimportant.
Another thing, I ain't gonna say I didn't like it, but it was just like, kind of like, huh? Like, I understand Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman, but it's like, it was just kind of weird that her skirt was that damn short when she fighting and shit. It was just weird to me, like.
Wasn't weird to me.
Yeah, it was just distracting, like, because it's like, it's just weird seeing everybody's
you know what?
Ready for war.
I'm gonna be honest, gentlemen and ladies. The best, if I didn't pay attention to the movie, it was purely because of that reason. Because her skirt was too short. Having Wonder Woman on the screen was just always something nice to look at. Because I did go in the mindset thinking this is a DC movie. But I don't know. I mean, I like the character development for what they had, for the little time they had. They didn't have movies for the other three.
Yeah, no, they did pretty good with the character development, except for Aquaman. I feel like they just kind of like he. That's
well, there's a story to tell there.
Yeah.
Because it's like when I saw those dudes chilling in the water and they were defending that box, and I'm like, or guarding it, and I'm like, all right, man, I could just tell by the way they were dressed and what was going on. Aquaman's not with them. I don't know how he showed up at the right moment, but he ain't with them. So there's something else going on there. He went rogue somewhere.
Yeah. And then the conversation he had with the girl, and you know what I'm saying, Did they say something to him like "Welcome back" or something like that? Like, "Oh, you're back now," right?
Yeah. And that's how you figure out that there's. I think they did that on purpose. Maybe it's hard to really get a grasp of what direction this movie wants to go in because of the fact that, like that first scene, it went one way. That was it. Like,
yeah, like
all right.
Was there more there? You know, yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, and the way that they did the fight with the Amazons, then you compare that to the fight that happened in Atlantis. It's like that was like way different. Like he just showed up, smacked those motherfuckers around, and left.
Well, here comes Aquaman, one guy, and he's just in that fight. And at first, you almost was like, "Damn, Aquaman just might beat this guy in the first 30 minutes. It might be the end of the movie."
Yeah, and that scene, that whole scene underwater, it was like hard.
He
to see.
threw a fucking axe at him, and Aquaman like ducked out of the way. But at the same time, like you threw a axe underwater at somebody. Of course, he's gonna get out of the way.
He's gonna move slow. Yeah.
But how powerful are you to throw that shit? And it like, because if I threw an axe underwater, it's gonna go like a foot if I'm really lucky. He fucking chucked it, and it was just like it was gliding through the air, but it was underwater.
I didn't like that whole fight scene because it was hard for me to see.
It was random.
Yeah, and it was hard. I mean, it wasn't too random because you knew where he was going. You knew that was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the psychology behind it. I didn't like that we really could. I was having a hard time.
And that's where they rushed in like story, and I was more focused on what was happening with the potential of the story than it was the actual fight scene. I'm like something's going on here. They had a little exchange, and they didn't elaborate too much into it.
Yeah. So yeah, but it goes into the whole thing of this Aquaman feeling like an afterthought. Like I kept forgetting that the motherfucker was in the movie.
And most of it was because of like they did so much heavy development for Cyborg. Like that was his name, right?
Yeah, Cyborg. And Flash too. So Flash and Cyborg, they got really good introductions.
But Cyborg got a lot more because essentially the whole movie technically was about him. In a way. I mean, he was like really, really deep seated into the story.
And I don't know, it's weird and it's funny because it's like I really don't have a favorite character because it's like I felt like Cyborg was my favorite character in this shit. But
then like Aquaman showed
Aquaman
up.
is like cool as
all right.
I love the way they took the corniest superhero of my childhood and made him like the dopest superhero of my adulthood. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, he just didn't care.
Yeah, he did not give a
Give me a shot of whiskey. It's on him.
It's on him.
The guy that I just rescued, who's passed out on the table.
Put it on his tab.
Put it on his tab.
Then the way he yoked up Bruce Wayne yeah, he was cool as shit. And then
he was still cool after he fucking. We gotta leave one scene that we just don't talk about.
This whole shit, bro.
All right, word. So I thought it was fucking. He was even pretty cool when he was sitting on the lasso and didn't know it.
Oh yeah, because like I said, that was a Dave Chappelle joke. Because this is an old Dave Chappelle joke from like the early '90s before Dave Chappelle was anybody. Where he said he'll be afraid to like rob a bank and get caught by Wonder Woman because she throw the lasso of truth on him, and all he'd be like is, "Damn, you got some big ass titties." So it's like that scene right there is like, oh shit, they just took his fucking joke because he just was going off on everybody, and then you got the Wonder Woman's like, "Girl, you fine." Like,
man, you really got no powers, no offense. And you're this, and you're this.
You could be the enemy.
You are fine.
Yeah.
you could be the enemy. What did he say about Flash?
I think he said he doesn't know how to fight.
Yeah, something like that. But I thought Flash. I felt like he was going to, if like by the end of the movie, we might get to to the bottom what happened to his dad. Like when he showed up with papers, I'm like, oh shit, Bruce Wayne pulled some connection and they found the person that really murdered his mom, or he's gonna get let go or something like that. No, he just showed up, hey dad, I got a job. But you said you had 4 jobs to begin with. So, well, hey dad, I got a new job.
Well, it's a job in the field that he wants to work in. So, there's that.
I mean, I guess. Still doesn't get his dad out of jail.
But I think they're saving that for the Flash solo movie.
Are they gonna make one?
Yeah, they're gonna make one. Especially after this. This movie has to do better than what they're saying it's going to do. I mean, it's really fucking good.
Yeah,
So so far, the only other thing that I think is worth mentioning that I didn't like about the movie was some of the CGI.
Yeah.
But I think it's like also forgivable because every time I like started noticing how terrible the CGI was, I was just like, I'm watching a movie. Like I'm just it wasn't terrible. It's just that it was just obvious that it was CGI. Like every time Cyborg is on screen, it kind of looked like half of his face was moving, and you know what I'm saying? Like his faces were like twitching on different. It was weird.
Well, I mean, I let that shit go because excuse me, I'm tired. It is like I can let CGI go because thinking about CGI like in '95, how terrible that shit looked. If I had CGI this good back then, I wouldn't really care. So I keep the same mindset of like, well, I really don't give a fuck about CGI because I mean, yeah, it's supposed to look real, but at the same time, it is a movie. Just let it go. Shit ain't real anyway. I remember when I bought you Transformers for your birthday, I think it was, and you put that shit on Blu-ray or your big ass television. Oh, excuse me.
The Hashitashi.
And I saw it looked so real, it was so fake.
Yeah.
Like, damn, that really does look like a toy helicopter they're throwing around. I don't know if that's what's going on, but that's what it looks like. And it kind of bummed me out. And it kind of was like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have super, like all that shit. I mean...
But you know what's crazy, though? Is like, I used to look at this shit like that, but your eyes get used to it after a while. Alright, so, what do you think about, okay, well, what's your, what do you like about the movie? Or what were some good things about the movie that we can talk about? Did we run through everything you didn't like already?
I can't remember. I feel like the case isn't closed on that one. We'll think of something. I tell you this much. I didn't like how I felt like they watered Wonder Woman down a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because she came through and saved both their asses in the Batman vs. Superman movie. The whole Wonder Woman movie, she was like a little naive, kind of figuring shit out because it's the first time in the realm of man, so to speak. But she also was a bad motherfucker, and you felt like she had the power to do anything. And then it gets to this movie, and it's just like you come into this, and I'm like, all right, man, this girl's like, she can do anything. She's all powerful. Wait a minute, what? Cyborg just fucking dipped on her? What? Now she just looks vulnerable. Like, I just felt like she was going to be the leader and the whole main. I mean, I don't know. She was the leader. Wonder Woman was. I really didn't. I got the sensation that none of them were the leader.
I don't know, I kind of felt like she was, because she just she kept stepping in and telling people what to do, basically.
Yeah, but so was Batman. And then none of that shit mattered when Superman showed up because he got all the attention anyway.
Batman was more like, I'm going to do this, deal with it. Whereas
his
was like,
but his decisions were terrible. If Batman was a leader, I'd tell you what, mutiny on that motherfucker.
Yeah, cause
you can't stop any. He can't stop any of them. Yeah. We can't rob your bank account.
Yeah, that kind of goes back into what I was going to say about when you said they made him an asshole. Like that really is who Batman is in the Justice League. He's the asshole of the group. Whereas like he's very well aware of the fact that he doesn't have any powers, and he's always like he's always thinking like, what is the most logical way to do this shit? What has to? He's a psychopath. Like Batman's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and then half the ideas that this Batman has weren't really going to work. Even fucking Alfred was like, guess you should have thought about this more.
I like the way they gave was like no introduction to Commissioner Gordon. They just knew that we knew who the fuck he was. Like, yeah. It's just funny because like as a brand new actor and shit, they just throw him in there. Like,
you know what? I'm gonna be honest. One of the things I really did like was how it was kind of just let's cut the bullshit and get straight to the movie.
Yeah. I mean, and this is as far as like all the movies I've seen where a bunch of heroes have to come together to fight one big evil. This is probably like the best. Like as far as like when you look at the motivation for them coming together, this is probably like the best one so far for that. Like as far as like, okay, there's a guy who's coming down and he's trying to collect these pieces, and these pieces are strewn all over the world, and we got to stop him from getting these pieces together. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. That. Because it's like it's very contained. Because that's the thing I didn't like. I don't like how they're never really contained very well. It's always like we gotta save the whole world because everything's gonna blow up because it's a fucking portal in the sky and it's aliens coming through, or it's a portal coming in the sky, or there's this great big bomb and we gotta. And they're just like, no, we just gotta go and separate these pieces and hide them again. You know what I'm saying? I can fuck with that.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was funny was when they talked about the Amazons. And they talked about the Atlanteans. Was that their name? How do you say them?
We'll roll with it.
The people from Atlantis, pretty much Aquaman's people, his race, was back then. The way the story goes was they couldn't one group of people couldn't defeat this monster, so everything came together. So what was it? Kryptonians showed up. Fucking gods showed up, like Amazons showed up, Atlanteans showed up, and man showed up. So all together they got shit done.
Oh, don't forget the secret motherfucker that showed up and had me like, oh shit, the Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, the lantern, the lantern ring that just disappeared and never saw it again. I was so hoping he was just gonna show up and be like, hey guys, am I late to the party?
Yeah, man.
Especially that'd be fucking hilarious if it was Ryan Reynolds. Unlikely, highly unlikely, but that should be fucking funny. And even if he just showed up as a cameo, walking, and he found the ring, he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And then he's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna leave that shit there." Just kept on walking or something. Just wishful thinking. It ain't gonna happen, or it didn't happen. But I like the way how when they realized what was it when they were talking about the lake? And they were like, all right, well, we can't get all these people together, but we get some of them together. And Batman's like, wow. And he pretty much acknowledged it. The mankind race that your people fought with back in the day ain't the same. Ain't the same. Don't even rely on them bitches. And I like the fact that, all right, so we kind of have to rely on these, I don't know, Aquaman represented his race, and Wonder Woman represented her race, and Superman represented his race, and then Batman represented his race, and I guess he was made to look like a fool, because mankind looks like a fool.
And mankind can't unify for shit.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mankind is weird. Mankind is a loner. Mankind is stubborn.
But,
mankind does what it says. Batman is mankind, and mankind is Batman.
And that's why I like that when they put that line in there where Batman says he's more human than me. So we got to bring him back. That was dope. It was dope that Bruce Wayne was the one to acknowledge that. Yeah, that was pretty dope. He said he chose to be here. He got a fucking job. I never thought about it like that. He liked us so much. He got a job.
Yeah.
Superman has a fucking job. Wow.
Yeah, he's fucking Superman.
Right. But my favorite scene in the movie was after they woke up Superman and he didn't know who he was and he was just snapping on everybody. That shit right there is worth the price of admission.
Fucking, what is it? Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, that was dope. That was a dope reference. And he's just when they first talked about bringing him back to life and the Flash, the young, which is why it was weird. It was the young one that said it because it was like, what the fuck does he know about Pet Cemetery?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you mean we ain't gonna bring him back on some Pet Cemetery type shit. It did. We came.
They were like, we didn't think about that.
Yeah. And then when they bring him back and Superman doesn't know who he is, so he starts snapping on everybody. He's just like, oh shit, Pet Cemetery.
One of the best parts of Aquaman was he was yeah, man, he ain't right.
Yeah,
what did he say? He doesn't look right.
Yeah, something ain't right.
I love that he was the first one to be like, yeah, I'm bitching out right now.
Yeah.
I'm the toughest motherfucker on this team, and I'm bitching out right now. But talk about this Superman snapping scene because that was.
Oh yeah,
dope.
so you could see Superman. It was just a look on his face was he wasn't sure what was going on. He couldn't tell him up, and then he couldn't tell like where he was and who he was. And then when those four
motherfucker just woke up from like the fucking heaviest nap he's ever had, the deepest sleep, and this is happening.
Yeah, so he sees Flash,
Wonder Woman,
Cyborg, and he can't tell if they're a threat or not. So he's just sitting there ice grilling them. It's a standoff because
which pissed me off because I understand you don't know the other three, but it's fucking Wonder Woman, man. Come on, how could you forget Wonder Woman?
Well, he just met that bitch. So.
It doesn't matter.
He met that bitch, then died. Which is why it was weird to me that she was like, so, oh, it's for him. Like, y'all, you just met him. Anyway. But, yeah, so Cyborg's defense system went up and just shot at him. And it's like, oh, well, you done fucked up now.
Yeah.
And he just started fucking them up. One by one. But the thing that was dope is that they all had to jump him. So Wonder Woman was holding one arm, Aquaman holding the other arm, Cyborg was in between them holding both arms, and he's like overpowering them. And then I don't know what the fuck Flash thought he was about to do. But Flash started running towards him, and I forgot.
Well, he was running like in a circle, like he was gonna like run behind him.
Yeah, like he was trying to get. I'm like, well, and then what? Like he said, I don't
fight.
Yeah, I just push people over and run. What you gonna do? Just push him down a bit? What was he gonna do?
That's probably what he thought. If I'll just take his base out from under him.
Oh yeah, that probably could have worked. So Flash starts to run.
Maybe he's gonna pull his pants down. I don't know.
Yeah, so he starts to run, and it's dope the way they did it because they showed the way the world is when he runs like 3 times already. So there's been already 3 times where things have happened where everybody goes in slow motion, but you see the Flash in regular motion. You know, we've seen that effect a million times. But the way they put it in this movie first, you know how it goes. And he's running in slow motion. Well, everybody's in slow motion but him. And then you see Superman look at him like, you see his eyes move.
His one eye just moved to the side. Like,
yeah. Like,
I see you.
I see you. Then
and that's
like,
that shit where you're like,
And so first you see,
fuck.
Yeah. So first you see his eye move, and you see the Flash kind of look like, did his eye just move? And then his head moved, and he's like, oh shit, I'm fucked. And then he like, but it's
and that expression on the Flash's face the whole time, like how long it took for him to like still realize, because I don't think he can just stop. He was still running like.
Oh, he can stop, but it's just like I said, the way it was done was so dope. Because like you see Superman moving, but you don't know, you can't tell how fast he's moving. So yeah, his eye moved and his head moved, but it's just like, is Flash still faster than him?
When his eye moved, dude, when his one eye just moved to the side, look right at Flash, that's when like like Flash probably had the longest shit of his life, the fastest shit of his life. I mean, that's that had to be in my recent adult memory one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen, to be honest with you. That shit wasn't like no horror movie. This shit was nothing. They were fighting out of nowhere, just whoosh, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like you're instantly like, oh no, Flash, get out of there. You need to get out. You need to run while you can. You're being chased by the one person you absolutely cannot outrun.
Yeah.
But you need to do something.
And then when Superman swung on the Flash and he had to like stop and he fell down and like he started getting clumsy, but he's like still moving super fast, but he's clumsy with it. That was all dope as hell. And then he saw Batman, and that whole dialogue between the two.
I know you.
Yeah, because he didn't know nothing. He didn't recognize himself. He didn't recognize Wonder Woman. But when he saw Batman, you.
Yep.
Like Hulk Hogan out this motherfucker.
And he didn't hold him up by his throat. He fucking held him up by his fucking jaw.
Yeah, his jaw, yeah.
Squeezing. And like, I didn't know how Batman was able to talk. Yeah, and when he said the world needs you.
He said the realest shit, like.
The world needs you, but the world doesn't need you.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm like,
oh, shit. He said, you wouldn't let me live. Now you won't let me die. Do you bleed?
Yeah.
And the shit was dope because it was like a Batman. I thought Batman was going to show up in his armor that he had in the first one where he was fighting Superman.
No, man, he's going to show up late as hell.
Yeah, he showed up late as hell wearing the fucking bat suit.
What's up? Like a fucking, hey man, it's me. Like, don't be mad.
Yeah, then he told Alfred, I need you to bring in the big guns. and it was like real dumb. It was like, what is he going to bring out? Like, what kind of?
Oh, I didn't even hear him say that.
Oh yeah, he was.
I was just like, oh, Batman's gonna die.
Because like I think if I'm not mistaken, Superman ran up and punched him in the chest first, and he went flying back and hit a cop car. And when he hit the cop car, he was like, bring in the big guns. And that's when Superman grabbed him by the jaw and picked him up in the air and started talking all that shit. And then when you see the big gun was fucking Lois Lane. And the way he just tossed Batman over his shoulder like a piece of crumpled up paper, just...
Like, I don't care about you, I got my girl. Yeah. And then they disappear, and he's like, oh, something's bleeding.
I didn't like that, because it was just like the scene was so dope, and then when you throw a punchline at the end of the scene, it's just kind of like, yeah, but I don't think we needed that punchline right there.
We didn't, but they needed some humor to Batman. It was random. I found the movie not unbearably boring. I found it really enjoyable, so it was a nice flow of story. I really hated the villain.
I didn't, because I mean, like, it just... I hated that we didn't get any kind of character development on him, but it was just we just got everything we didn't know when he fought Wonder Woman. He was like throwing hands with Wonder Woman. That lets me know, okay, he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But it also lets you know that he's not that bad, because they were about to jump her, and he said, "No, she's mine." And when they started fighting, after a while, he was like, "Get her!" So it's like it just lets you know she can beat that motherfucker 1-on-1 when he. But you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's how most villains are. What's that? You think you beat me 1-on-1? Ha ha ha! I'm gonna cheat because I'm about to lose.
But he can fuck everybody else up except her and Superman, of course, because Superman beat that ass.
What's funny to me, man, is if Kryptonians help fight in that whole war, why did you need all these other armies? Because if Superman's strong because he's Kryptonian, correct?
Don't get me lying on that shit, but I think... But he's not... The way that Krypton shit is weird, because it's like, they're like a communist planet, so it's like, whatever the fuck you're good at, they make you do that. So the scientist, you're just gonna be like the dopest scientist, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Superman, and at least in this universe, I don't read DC Comics, so I don't really know. But as far as this movie universe, it's like they took all of the best DNA from all of the best of the best and put them all into Superman, which is why he's so super. So he's like the best of all the Kryptonians.
Oh, okay.
They blew that motherfucker off.
I was about to say, if like there's a whole planet, or there was a whole planet of people as strong as him, then you shouldn't need all the other armies. You could have just had them just jump his ass.
Yeah, but in the mission at the time, they were showing that what was his name again? His name was pretty fucking cool. I just don't remember his fucking name.
What, the villain?
Yeah, Weather or something.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Yeah, that's a cool ass
like,
name.
Like the fucking band from the 70s.
But they said like back in those thousands and thousands of years ago, he was extra powerful and his army was super huge. So it was like he said, it was conquering the planet, and he had all the joints together. So he was like, that shit made him more powerful. Like you saw how hard he was to beat. Like I said, when the first time he fought Wonder Woman, he was getting his ass whooped. But after he got the three shits together, Wonder Woman couldn't fuck with him no more.
No. But
so
like, I don't know. I mean, I like the movie, but I definitely hated on a lot more shit than I did when I liked it, if that makes any sense. Just because I nitpicked at it so much.
Yeah, I liked it because I chose not to nitpick.
I know
things that I'm nitpick on it was just like not even worth.
I know Cyborg is a mathematical genius, but why the fuck would he need to dig a perfect rectangle? Excuse me. Well, you know what? No, because this movie takes place, I'm gonna say, like a week after. They're still in mourning of Superman's loss, and for those who were skeptical, we found out Superman actually 100% is dead. They had to bring him back to life, so he wasn't like, wait a minute, man, didn't he fucking stick his hand out or something? Remember the fucking thing?
Yeah, that's what.
So what was that about?
Fuck it, that's what it was about.
I just remembered that. Yeah. What the fuck was that about? So he didn't bring himself back. They brought him back.
And the thing is that... Oh, well, no, that was something different. All right.
I don't know. Fucking...
But let's go ahead and wrap this up. We kind of...
No, this is funny. Let me think about it. So, Superman comes back from the dead. That's easy to explain. So he goes back to being Clark Kent, and nobody questions the fact that we buried your ass.
That what I didn't get. At the end of the movie, he's wearing fucking. As I said, a little bit of dumb shit I can nitpick. I don't want to nitpick on it. But yeah, this motherfucker's walking around with the Clark Kent suit, tie, and glasses. And
dude, you fucking Superman.
Yeah, just be Superman.
Just let it go.
Yeah, just
let
be
it
Superman.
go.
Yeah, Clark Kent is dead. You should Superman now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was weird to me.
I also didn't like the fact that, Aquaman, he can't fucking fly. So why is he like gliding through the air, attacking people? Like he's just down with, hey man, I'm free falling. I can't fly, but I'm free falling. This is cool.
I kind of take it to like when he's underwater, how he just can just, so he's already used to just like going at high speed.
But that's underwater.
No, but I'm saying the speed is the same though. It's kind of like the same fucking control.
I guess.
Because that's what NASA does. When NASA wants to train for weightlessness, they put them underwater.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like, you know, so I can dig that. It's just less control. It's harder to, you know what I'm saying? So I can see that. But at the same time, I didn't like the way it was filmed because the way it was filmed made it look like he was flying. Yeah, so.
Or shit like well, this is also a superhero movie. We gotta let it go. It's also a superhero movie.
Nitpick, it's gonna be a lot of dumb.
I mean, like Cyborg was the only thing that made sense because he woke up. Hey man, I fucking wake up, new shit happens to me. Guess what? I can fly now. Basically, you can't think about the comics too much when you watch these movies. That's pretty much the moral of any of these movies. Anything you think you know, just throw it away. I will say this. I'm gonna say that this Batman is probably in the same universe as the Michael Keaton Batman. And the reason why I say so is because not only they threw in like tidbits, like or snippets or whatever of the old school Batman shit, but when he was in that room and they had like the samurai armor, and it's like in the first Batman, remember when what's his face, Arliss and Vicky Vale were walking down the hallway, and there was all those like samurai armor just chilling, and they were fucking making fun of it. And it's like, man, I feel like those, because he was in that room with random samurai armor.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, random samurai armor, and then there's helmets and swords and shit, and it's like, that's very, very random. You're in a fucking room, like the most chill room in this entire underground, which didn't look like a cave. I don't care what Flash says. This shit was like a fucking underground military fortress. But you're in this chill room, and his only decoration is his fucking samurai armor. So I feel like that was thrown in there to maybe kind of, hey guys, this plus the Batman music from the first Michael Keaton movie is us letting you know that this kind of fits into that neighborhood.
In the Penguin reference, too.
With the exploding, what was it? The
when the worst
exploding
thing you had to
penguins.
worry about was exploding penguins.
Yeah. So basically, they letting us know that this is that Batman years later.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on that movie conspiracy shit, man.
Yeah. Fan theory number 1. All right, that'll do it. Been trying to wrap this up for like 10 minutes. We're way over time.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, I don't give a fuck either.
I don't get to do these as often as I'd like to.
So, this is our channel. We just do what the fuck we want to do on our shit. So,
yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. This is We Ain't No Stupids, and we out.
And we're not no stupids.
Just fuck the whole shit up. You're right. You don't do enough of these. Deuces.